And we are back, we are here, and we are live. Fairfield College taking on Siena here on our third matchup for the EGF's Overwatch Day 1 of Week 1. I'm FBI Tugboat, I'm here with LaFawn. I almost said I was LaFawn, I was with FBI Tugboat. Maybe that's wishful thinking or something, I don't know.
I mean, if you want to, we can switch usernames pretty quickly. I think that's allowed.
I don't think so.
Just for the duration of this broadcast. But no, to the game for a moment. Got to talk about this. I gotta recenter myself because my camera shifted. So sorry about that. I was looking off to the corner instead. But no, we're back. We're back. I think my camera just turned left. We're gonna head to Busan first. Enough about me. Let's talk about the teams. Interesting about this one, right? We've had a bit of a speed run of the day overall, Tugboat. So we're going to see if we can sort of reestablish ourselves in terms of timing here in Series 3.
Yeah, we have not been opting for predictions. I will only speak to my personal hopes, and that is that we go the full 5 maps, maybe even an overtime map, maybe even getting down to that 6th map, the Elios tiebreaker here, because it's a first of 2-3, not technically the best of 5, which is a discrepancy worth noting, I suppose. Fairfield University in the left and blue, Siena College in the right and the red. Would you go through Siena for me, and I'll go through Fairfield. WLK, Vortex Brick Rick, hands down my favorite name in this matchup. Anitz, Quef, and G Hill 240 making up your Fairfield squad.
Yeah, we're going over to Captain Killog, CJ Paul, Sethry, Aced, Nourishment, and Booker. Man, a lot of food-based stuff today. As the gates unlock here on downtown Busan, the team's underway. Dive v dive. Who's going to come out on top?
Teams have generally met each other very earlier, and here comes the jump. Rick getting super aggressive with a name like that and expect nothing else. Swipes some more from Captain Killog, trying to focus out these tanks and at least force them back a little bit. That's one down, and then the Reaper deleted from the other side. Rick, and this both down, and now just a pinstriped kill feed here as both teams losing players left, right, and center. Captain Killog trying to get back with the rest. Ace taking that point position for right now. The brunt of this damage gets down to 9. Tries to eat it out. Not going to happen. Loses that mech formation. But Siena is going to take control of this point to begin with and start taking ticks.
Yeah, the Genji just gets a lot of value in close. And across the board, not much damage in terms of an individual, right? No ults necessarily online yet for our team in red. But WLK has the Pulse Bomb, so look for that to be the pickoff as well. Of course, into the later stage of the Tactical Advisor engage opening as the Winston jumps in. Brick doing their best to take space.
Yeah, okay, so the sleep does not actually yield a full-on pick there as normally happens. Here comes the aimbot. That's 1, looking for 2. There's 2, looking for 3. Gets it with the assistance of the teammate. Basically off the back of a single ultimate right here. That's about as good as investment as you can get, and I'm not talking stocks.
Switches coming in as the Genji is going to be taken away for the McCree here. You can see already just trying to play it slower, trying to just provide space with this Cowboy. Likely just prevent a hard dive from the Tracer and Winston and company.
Only one ultimate on board right now. Now one on either side, both Anna ultimates up. Rick starting this one. It's been kind of a 50-50% win-loss ratio on these pushes initially, and now with the Diva mech deleted early, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. Rick taking a snooze in the back. Most of this Primal Rage will be deleted from that sleep dart. 36% or so for blue side. That's Fairfield as now fighting back. Barely gets there as Annis and just completely deletes this Roland Hamster on the way in. Reaper meeting down bottom, and it's getting focused out by that source of damage, but it's not going to be Siena that takes this, at least not yet. Vast majority of their progress, that was like 95% of progress, LaFawn. Nothing for it.
Yeah, now the one thing here is that the win condition established for the defense of Fairfield is this Graviton Surge. Anaboost, though, stunned up immediately. This Winston not having the greatest time in close.
Yeah, so Sethry, Rick, both have been paid off for their aggression so far. Both actually felt the fire as well. But again, just an up and down performances. Fairfield losing members left and right. They're just going to kind of hold on here and get as much percentage as they can. Least die on point. Nope, not going to happen. Rotation on back. Rick does not fall here, nor feed the ultimates of the rest of Siena College.
A good retake there. I mean, despite the fact that Sethry gets kind of booped around, stunned, slept, just experiencing the main tank's dynamic. They're able to provide pressure in play. The Graviton Surge is still available. Pulse Bomb to combo with it, perhaps. And I would expect this to land on the tanks ideally.
Full shot self-destruct over the top is going to take out Brick. Rick is not able to get away from it. Big Zarya ultimate right there. Combo that with a Tracer Bomb as well, but WLK cannot get away from the clutches of Captain Killog. Nicely done. Anadis and teammate, that's Vortex here, still keeping the dream alive, but there is a main support on the other side, and that's going to go that way 9 times out of 10. WLK looking to get back into this fight, but there's not a whole lot left to be fought over.
Yeah, they're going to get the elimination here onto Nourishment, but the Primal Rage to stabilize just a little bit further, as just knocking people about on this objective.
Wow, it's going to get... Okay, so gets the Lucio, actually, because the train is coming back just at that right time. We'll call it the master timing right here. Rick, the last alive between a Reaper and a Brig. He gets... Congrats from me just for staying alive that long. That's going to be it for our map number 1. Siena College taking it 100-74. Our most competitive map 1 on Busan so far on stream tonight, Lafon.
Yeah, such a strong play, unfortunately, to close out. The sustain of the rally is just too strong there from, or against Fairfield, I should say. And even though Brick does their best, right, it's just not enough. So, yeah, 1-0 opening as we head to Sanctuary. Actually, I was just, the pause there is because I think this is the first time we've seen Sanctuary today, right? Because we've gone to Mecha Base for the previous 2 series. Yeah, so, I mean, this is our first time seeing it on stream here, and as a result, someone's going to need to explain to me the Junkrat in this dive composition, because I've seen it a lot. Gotta be honest, I don't know what value it brings.
They just want to play the Junkrat. We've seen it in, we've seen it mostly in the beginning of our Icon Waltz, or at least even like midway through our Icon Waltz. I guess it is CJP, who is opting to go with it a little bit earlier. Not against it. We'll see how they work this one out, and if this provides them a lot of damage in sideways and it gets shields and more. Not really a whole lot of value so far, as WLK and Vortex have been really having the number of CJP so far. Full rotation in, that's Seth3 up front, utilizing this middle positioning for cover and more. That's an early take onto the only capabilities for a res for the side of Siena. And Fairfield coming on top of this one so far.
I mean, Fairfield just walk to the objective and say, what are you going to do about it? And the answer is fall over, at least, you know, in the sense that they can't contest the hit scan pressure of Vortex, who already is up to 3/4 of that Deadeye. And back to the drawing board as the Seth3 goes over to the Reinhardt. So trying to mirror like with like as they hope to kind of swing away to this build this Earth Shatter.
Similar tank lineups, very different on the healing, very different on the DPS core. Early damage taken out from WLK, big charges. That's going to be Seth3 just completely focusing attention and allowing themselves open for the Shatter. Not a fantastic take for Siena, and they're going to be forced to back up somewhat for right now. Ace coming up by themselves is not going to be the move. A flashing out in the second will be the difference there. That, I guess, was a flashbang to take on 2 even after the Shatter. And it's all but clean up here for the side of Fairfield University.
Make sure they're extra stunned, right? Like, that's how that works. Just, that's right. And I mean, though the nano boost does come down, the focus fire onto Ace is too good. And now ult economy is favoring Fairfield, pardon me. Both support ultimates online. You're going to have the Deadeye, of course, and now the Dragon Strike being built up too as well. Fairfield have all the tools they need to kind of hold this one out.
Ooh, again, the Reinhardt v. Reinhardt charge battles continues. Seth3 coming out on top of this one as Rick is the one that kind of turns that attention, and then Seth3 opens himself up for hit scan damage and edgewise. A lot of ultimates, both dropping for the side of the DPS core from Siena. One gets a lot, one gets nothing as WLK sniffs this one out very, very quickly. Last little bit of cleanup here for the side of Siena. This should be an easy takeover as there is only one healing member, or excuse me, 2 healing members and a tank left in the middle.
Not an overcommit though by Fairfield. They still have, you know, 4 ultimates coming in. They're gonna have the Grav Dragon combo, and there's no defensive utility to deny that much damage throughput, right? You're gonna have to have either it's gonna have to be a dodge from the Graviton Surge or just immense healing throughput from Nourishment and Booker. But that is a tough ask for the support line, Moira Ana notwithstanding. So all eyes on this specifically.
Yeah, so what, maybe... There it is. Yeah, so a grenade.
Oh,
that's the shatter. That's exactly what was necessary to keep this grab away from these dragons. No combo there. Nothing doing. Vortex just chased down right now as Siena looks to clean up a little bit more right here. They're at an advantage technically right now. As I say that, 2 members falling. We're dead even. Sethri going on the hunt here, and he's got supports in his sight lines. Last little bit, and all shall fall before Siena.
That shatter was massive. Sethri denies the Dragon Strike combination, and in fact, the damage does not come in. So that is going to be the reset. Oh, shout out to CJ there, giving Anvis the accidental alley-oop to get out. But I mean, now Ace has the Graviton Surge, so this damage is alongside CJ. There's a lot more damage available here from our team in red, and they're looking to kind of equalize the map because again, last fight territory in Fairfield's favor.
Immortality field out first. That's gonna be the main tank again. Sethri falling for the side of Siena. That's a little bit more as the pinstripe kill feed continues. Mayhem Grenades actually taking out Vortex as well. Cowboy no more for the side of Fairfield, at least for another few seconds. Captain Killog looking for a flank in edgewise. There's the aimbot and more. That's Quef falling first. Now turning his attention on the main tank, and that is exactly, again, the Doctor ordered. Spill on factor right here, 85, 86%. Not sure if Fairfield's going to be... That's exactly... Okay, so never mind. WKLK just opened this up completely. Nice little headshot on a huge shorts of damage, and now they connect actually on the end on a shatter. 94, 95%. Brick will be able to touch. Gets a lot of damage against him and barely able to get out, but that overtime counter has started. Siena takes this. They'll be going to a map no, they will not be going to. They'll be going to second match. Here's Booker with a lot of damage and healing as well. Fairfield trying to hold on.
Gil gets taken out as the cast time of the Soundberry gets committed, and it's piecemeal, it's broken, it's falling apart. The contest for Fairfield just isn't here. Overtime will tick away, and Siena will take the victory 2-0 here on map 1, but man, what a close map.
Yeah, excuse me, we saw all but 100-0 W's earlier on our Bristan maps. Obviously, we got Downtown earlier. Here we got Sanctuary. The McCree play on both of these, on all 3 of these matchups so far, first being, that was Niagara Quinnipiac, the second being UTA and DePaul, has been absolutely monumental here. We did see the Junkrat come out a little bit earlier. Again, we see that a lot more in this next map on the Eichenwald here. But regardless, what we're happy about, I'm sure you can agree with me, LaFon, is that this is a lot more evenly matched, even it was a 2-0. Again, earlier we're like 25-0% and stuff like this. We got a 99 to 100 in the first, I believe, and then something like 99 to 100 in the second. Was it 99 to 100 in the second one? I'm so excited, I can't remember.
I believe it was 100 to 75 in the first one, and then pretty close in the second. So, you know, still, I mean, very close match overall. That's like, what, a team fight? So not bad. Yeah. I will say, right, I'm going to wait till the second map finishes. Control can be pretty finicky to call in terms of how chaotic it can be. And I have to say, I have to eat my words. I said I don't know if the Junkrat's going to provide value. I don't understand what its composition or its strength is in this composition. But playing around that spam, just putting pressure down lane, and forcing the rotation from the front line of Fairfield. It was the Junkrat for Siena, right? So in that sense, it was effective. It's just that, you know, getting the Riptire as well, and we saw the total Mayhem elimination as trying to hunt down the Junkrat while they were in the middle of their ultimate was not fruitful in the end. So compositionally, a strong start here from Siena, and they're looking to continue that progress as we head to Eichenwald for map 2.
Yeah, Eichenwald map 2. Perhaps it's just the simple fact of not playing it against Junkrats maybe as much anymore. That the Mayhem kill even came in. Obviously, we didn't get it on stream necessarily, but I have to agree with you. And the second evaluation there, Levon, the Junkrat here, it was just too much damage and too much of a large looming threat to have been ignored from our defense here. That was mostly popped off by Siena, and that is definitely a contributing factor as to why they were able to come through and then take this, and even in 2 hotly contested rounds through our Oasis. Eichenwald next, though. Again, we have been seeing nothing but 3-0 sweep so far, so we hope that Eichenwald for our map 2 will be nice and close, maybe even tie it up back again before we see Hanamura, and then Junkertown map 4 if we get there, and map 5 being Oasis again if we get all the way down there. No subs, it's looking like.
Yeah, it's looking pretty standard at the moment as we gotta look at our rosters here. And I have to say, I think one thing that's kind of interesting is we gotta look at Eichenwald up first is that offense seems to like the dive composition here in Eichenwald, while the defense tends to play the rush, right? That's what we've seen so far on stream today. And will the pattern continue for our third series? We'll have to wait and find out. But at least initially, teams seem to be enjoying the aggression of the dive composition, that high mobility, the ability to get past the choke point on that under the bridge on first, and then play, while the defense likes the more stable sort of shielding pressure that is provided by either the rush composition in the case of the Reinhardt. We also saw the bunker comp with the Orisa a little bit earlier as well. So if that pattern continues, I can understand the thought process. I can understand the sort of stylistic idealization behind it. Just an interesting pattern we've recognized so far.
Yeah, so, the Orisa pick, obviously, are more requiring of other 5 players are going to be kind of focusing around that. This is really what I was looking for, though, the CJP Pharah pick so far, but this is on offense. How interestingly different from what we've seen earlier.
I think we saw Julian play Pharah on offense in our last game.
Yes, but the defense is mostly the one that. Oh no,
yeah.
You're right. Actually, yeah, that was. Yeah, Julian over there from UTA that was able to sweep it out. Yeah, sorry, it wasn't the defensive fair that took the advantage.
I think what we can say is an interesting dynamic though is that we're seeing this double Reinhardt look, right? We're seeing the Ryan Zarya in defensive end, which we saw, we kind of come to expect, but offensively, we're seeing the Reinhardt Diva. So they're looking to play a little bit more in that rush composition around the spam the Pharah provides, right? Have the Pharah just sort of create havoc in the back line while you win the front line out here. Seems to be the idea, at least, for Siena.
Yeah, initial rotations back to point. Did notice this. No subs, no, but Brick Rick no longer playing the main tank, now playing onto the Soldier 76, while Vortex, our previous hit scan player, rotating on into that Reinhardt. Love to see different players getting it in different roles. Gil falling early to a well-placed headshot. This Hanzo showing off what they can do so far. TJP now switching on over to the Junkrat and looking to get that Junkrat play on stream here again. 3:15 here, back and forth. Captain Killog really being the main source of kills so far until a well-placed anti-grenade and the collapse of the offense, or of the defense, excuse me.
Excellent healing, juggling a priority between Nourishment and Booker, who keep Set3 in mech by the skin of their teeth, right? It's so close to getting the D-mech, but instead, they're able to keep the tank line up, stabilize, and that threshold of damage that just was evaded by Fairfield as Siena was able to close it out. We're going to see the Nano Boost available online, obviously, the Valkyrie in terms of support. However, the defense has high ground advantage, especially with the fact that Siena isn't really taking control of the bridge here, so the Deadeye could get value well, as long as WLK stays alive, which in this case they are not.
Yep, yeah, we'll have to see if that one pans out till another respawn and movement. This is obviously a Fairfield squad that notices this and is waiting for this player to get back. They kind of group together there for a second just to block away damage from this Junkrat, and now we're just kind of waiting for him to get on the way back. WLK could obviously get a nice high noon from edgewise, but this is CJP getting super aggressive in the back. Now the Valkyrie comes out. There's WLK finding a Valkyrie Mercy at the very, very end. There's dragons across bridge as well. That's mostly going to be Brick finding this well-placed melee. Ends WLK. Brick follows suit. And we got a Fairfield squad that is done and deleted, dusted. Siena will be rolling on into point 2 in just a little bit.
Yeah, both supports were taken out, though, by the DPS, and we're going to see a swap come in for WLK. A good read here. If they can get a recontest, there's no hit scan, so the pocketed Pharah can get a lot of value. Basically uncontested.
There's WLK falling first. Self-destruct over the top. Not going to find anything there. Res onto this Reinhardt, and I think that I'm not against this. This is just, kind of a burn time situation, pour this saying out the hourglass, but now we're looking at a full respawn from not one but two different players from Fairfield.
I do like that they didn't use any ultimates on Fairfield's end, though, right? They just came in, contested the card, just buy time, and they're back to the reset. There's only 2 ultimates available here now for the offense, so this is still very winnable for Fairfield. They just need to execute with this Graviton and Earthshatter.
Stun against Ace yields absolutely nothing after the aggressive push from Vortex and Quef get them in just a swift kick back to the respawn room. Valkyrie out from Gil, and that's going to get this team to be able to keep the dreams alive. Sleep on the Bob, but he's going to contest out point for the next 5 seconds or so. Now back, putting in damage into Ace right here. Here comes the Riptire as well. Notices the Zarya bubble and waits, spins on it. Just nice little movement there on side that pocket. Grab out might have been better utilized a few seconds earlier with the utilization of that Riptire. Not gonna matter, and this Pharaoh comes so close to getting our resident Reinhardt. Joining him, not to make the only resident Reinhardt, Vortex, and gets deleted before he can even land on this hammer strike. Out is to contest this with Anitz, and nobody else gonna touch. 352 is not as much as our 5 minutes and 53 seconds on Hunter Moore earlier. That's still a fantastic time on Eichenwald.
Yeah, excellent time bank there, and I have to feel for Quef, who came in with the nano, the bubble, and was still immediately blown up. That's like about 600 effective HP in an instant, just taken away. So,
yep,
absolutely unreal.
First damage right in this Junkrat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Junkrat and the rest of the team just look at you. Turns out you're gonna have a bad time, right? But now to the defense is Siena and Fairfield are looking to kind of break open their defense, right? Because offensively, the bridge was a bit piecemeal. I have to say, it wasn't extremely clinical. It looked like there were opportunities to regress in some of those engagements. Now, for Fairfield, they have to find those opportunities now that they're on their own attack run to kind of force fights. You have to take more fights, right? If you are at a time bank disadvantage that's this massive, oftentimes what it means is that you lost fights so cleanly and then weren't able to recontest that allowed the opposition just to kind of roll through you. So we need to see a little bit more fights being taken here by Fairfield.
Yeah, just kind of force the hand of the defense. I think that's what I'm hearing.
That's exactly right.
There you go. See how that goes? A man hand is obviously never ideal for an offense pushing in, especially with as many close quarters situations and wall-off capabilities that this CJP player is going to be able to have. WOK showing out with their own, though. It's not a bad answer for an enemy May.
I will say, though, this Symmetra with the teleporter can make this offense more mobile compared to the bunker that the defense is running. So eyes on this teleporter. This could be a difference maker for sure.
Back under to it. Almost all of that. But now, over through Telly. Not forced to bring up shield. And Vortex will have that about halfway up as he looks to engage. And this done. WLK taking out their counterpart on that one. Brick getting hyper aggressive and using the edge of that ice wall. Keep this Baptiste in. And that's a main support now done. Brick just turns on the microwave. And this is Fairfield unlocking first point in just a few seconds.
Still make it extremely costly, though, for the offense is Siena as they got the barrier out from Brick Rick. As you're right, that was the first fight take, and I highlighted the teleporter as being an opportunity to get advantage. We saw a teleporter move up from main to the left side of the objective. Change the angle of attack, right? Don't force the fight where the shields are head on. And the Symmetra, more critically, is able to charge up off the barriers of the double shield. And that gets a lot of value as well, as we saw how much damage was in by the barrier being created that quickly. Now, switch comes in, aced over to the Zarya. But, I mean, with CJ Paul going down, they're going to have to kind of wait this one out just a little bit.
CJ Paul, that's what it is. I was calling it CJP All. CJ Paul, I like it. Like DJ Paul, almost. I like it. I like it. 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Fairfield, I think the next to last elbow on this rotation on into bar point number 2. Kind of doing battle here towards the middle. Hopefully get a little boop action on broadcast. I would love to see it as Lucio made myself moving in forward. He cannot be denied! Doesn't matter. Ace is going to take the plunge themselves.
No sound barrier to defend against a Gravitic Flux. It doesn't look like they need it, though.
Okay, just you waiting a little bit longer for it, making sure that that wasn't going to be an elongated team fight. And now we're looking at a Fairfield University squad that's coming in and going to be getting extra time here on point 2, and not that far away from the 352 time bank if they even face just moderate opposition coming into this one. Nope, there's going to be a contest on the end. Not everybody here is quite there, but the Maywall to the right blocks off multiple members of the Fairfield University squad. A charge coming in, but against a nano boosted and bubbled Reinhardt is going to get not much done. Looking to the back, Vortex kind of left on the lurch on this one. Fairfield might have gotten stopped here, actually. Might have called this one a little bit soon, Lafon.
Good recontest. They're still not quite done yet. That Dragon Strike does so much damage, but it's not quite enough.
Yeah, a lot of run right here is WOK, but that's all for naught.
Yeah, the theatrics were there, but one versus the world in the respawn queue is not going to be really in your favor. Certainly held with bated breath, though. I will say it's a good recontest from the defense. Not only do they come in with the ultimates they require, the nano-boosted Winston, of course, they play around the immortality field, they play around their cooldowns, and the respect was not given to those abilities by the offense, so Fairfield have to redraw their attack. The Gravitic Flux is available now, but the Graviton Surge is available to kind of gain everyone together, but that is a lot to ask here.
Are you a juggler? I do believe Set3 is. That's WOK deleted after the other DPS for the side of Fairfield gone. Siena College, these tanks are putting on a clinic as to what to do on tanks so far today. Jump coming in, will he land it? No, it does not land the Kobe shot on this one. Now going to be forced back and actually punished for his actions. Gets aggressive with it and pays with it for his life, Lafon.
Yeah, the switch to the Reaper here makes sense. Brick off the Widowmaker. Gets taken out by the Winston, says, all right, enough of this. Switches over to the Reaper to give Seth a taste of their own medicine.
Oh, speaking of, tries the Shadow Step, not gonna happen. Utilizes it in Trap, the rookie mistake. The high noon comes out, Captain Killog finding one with the Deadeye, finding a second afterwards after the duo tank combination for the side of Fairfield is deleted.
Man, the rally was used there from Quef as well. So
I did not notice that.
Yeah, that's tail end of the fight. It's tough. It's tough. There is, again, I mean, a possibility here as Quef makes a switch over to the Baptiste. So basically the rush in totality here. However, they do have the combo, right? They have the Graviton Surge, they have the Dragon Strike. We didn't see it work on map number 1, but they're hoping for a difference of opinion here, as they'd like to lay that one out.
With that, I do believe, yeah, we are not going to be seeing a situation where Fairfield can even get enough time, because they only get one opportunity at more time being added to their time bank. Stepping in, that's Rick in the back. Dragons out. That's exactly what the Fairfield University squad was moving towards.
Not. This is just going to waste time. They're not going to actually get the hold here with this Winston. Yeah, this is...
Seth3 is tired of this this McCree or this.
I would expect
Reaper,
a change here. I would expect a change here from Seth3 too. Now that they're on third, but so no, just wasting. I mean, changing, not changing. Okay. I mean, you still waste some time, and that's unfortunate.
This is CJ Paul. Hits him with the hard beats. Rick. These ones will bounce off the walls. Just like sound. I don't know, but still, one way or another, you're gonna have to pay attention to that and respect it. CJ Paul with that Junkrat tire in the back.
Big shatter, lays down 3.
And that's going to be CJ Paul held in the thick of things. WOK finding it. Shots out. Bubble's not going to be enough. Fairfield rolling on in, but once again, they're not going to get enough time here to top the 3 minutes 52 massive amounts of time that Siena had. But with that, what we are guaranteed is not the same exact scoreline that we've seen across 2 matches so far.
Yeah, I will say that the critique I had after the attack run for Fairfield is echoed here in the round 2. We only saw one fight on the 3rd phase, right? You have to force those fights because otherwise you end up just giving the objective away for free. And more importantly, Siena lose the round out with 4 ultimates in their bank, right? They had the nano boost. They had the Graviton Surge. They had the Deadeye. I mean, it was used, but not in a very effective position. And they had the Riptire. And the fact that you go down with those 4 ultimates that not being committed, I mean, you gotta take more fights, guys. You gotta take more fights. Both teams. This is for both squads.
Even if that's like a solo situation, dying with them means you get absolutely nothing from it. The Symmetra, at least shown out here from the beginning from Fairfield. How are we feeling about the Mei Symmetra combo?
I mean, it found a lot of value on the first run, right? And you can see the change being made by Siena as a result. They're not running the double shield.
We're gonna see how that one pans out. Other than that, kind of standard stuff between the Reinhardt, Zarya. Utilizing this Reinhardt shield out. Finding it a little bit harder to get through here. There's a classic Mei. They're gonna be teleporting across this and then jumping up and full L Fairfield. Sorry, have to call it like we see it.
They tried, I guess.
The attempt was made. This is for sure. Maywell on the back. That's gonna get that. The second one much more effective than the first. CJ Paul forced to utilize a concussion grenade to get out from that one and get with the back in a couple of seconds. It's gonna make all the difference in this one. Brick trying to get in damage edgewise. The coast stun right here, but the Junkrat singing on top. Fairfield stopping this one, or excuse me, Siena stopping this one for the time being.
And these delayed picks are massive because it means that there's only going to be one real fight remaining. And you have Riptire to open up this fight. You're going to pressure off so much time on this clock. This should be Siena forcing the overtime fight at the earliest. And definitely have the Coalescence to back up that advantage as well. Siena in full control, it seems like, of this defensive site.
Yeah, the simple fact that they have such an impressive ult like this, and then Quef falling first, no mercy to be spoken of. WLK finds a well-placed headshot on this, shattered down, but that's going to be the dual tire kill. 2 birds, 1 stone on this. A little bit of cleanup action. The overtime is technically triggered, but that's not going to be enough to keep the dreams alive for the side of Fairfield. Now Siena is staring on the barrel of a worst possible situation of a tie, correct?
Yeah, they have to stop the attack of 1/3 of Objective A for 3 minutes and 52 seconds, just shy of 4 minutes to win. Not even win. It's
just a tie, right?
Yeah, just a tie. But I'm talking about like a fight win here for Siena. They don't even have to truly win a fight. They just have to put pressure on the objective and force everyone off for that 1/3, which isn't a lot of time, right? So.
Yeah, especially if you're talking about 2 or more players up there. You could even almost get, like, if they run a merge and then 2 picks, but you can even just get into the 1 pick territory. Literally, if you just dump 6 into 1 and they take forever to get back, there's no Lucio to taxi, there's no movement abilities on them, depending on who they decide to pick, then you're just literally looking at teamfight 6-6-5 from that point, because they got plenty of time to do it. Time is on their side, which is not a situation that we humans find ourselves frequently in.
We're going to see WLK make the triumphant Junkrat pick they're hoping to try and mirror out what Siena brought to the table. We'll see if there's any value to be gained here, but again, so much on the cards here for Fairfield. They don't want to go down 2-0. There is that possibility, right? If this gets a draw, that 6th map is a possibility indeed.
So it is. Rotations round, no need to take this one super fast, no Lucy to be spoken of, no one needed. Captain Kellogg, spamming damage down the middle. Big idea right now is to take out shield damage and making us use this defensive matrix off the top, and losing their Junkrat and their Diva is not ideal. Continuing to spam damage at Captain Kellogg, but forced to come back is the side of Fairfield.
Excellent start from Fairfield. Excellent start from Fairfield here, right? You got those early pickoffs. Just prevent any real ult charge from being generated too, right? You're going to have the Riptire first here as WLK is up to 20%. And this is how you win. This is how you draw the game. Just slow the pace down. Again, if the offense wants to stand and choke and poke, allow them to, but don't give them the opportunity to deal damage. And Fairfield has done a good job of that so far.
Slow the rotations. Damage inside wise. WLK percent away from their tire now. get healed and send it out. That would be the ideal for me. Invulnerability shield out, amplification matrix out as well, nourishment done, so the big source of healing out. That's exactly what is necessary to stop the bleeding of Fairfield College.
Fairfield are doing what they need to. I will put a caveat on that, is that the ultimates are starting to stack up here for the offense now, right? You see it's going to be 4 ultimates available here in this next fight for... What is Sethri doing here?
Not sure.
This is the opposition spawn room.
He's trying to make a point. He's trying to split these. There's 3 members on him right now and almost took out a single by themselves. One out, forces that in the back. Immortality field done dusted. Not sure if that was the exact intended game plan, but it was exactly what they needed at the time. Self-destruct over there from the other side. Takes out 2, and Fairfield holds strong for the time being. Junkrat, Piptire out. Searching for 1, finds 2. Both members of the healing core. Minute 90 seconds in. And just like that, 2 big explosions. One from a self-destruct, one from a ripped tire. Yields a little bit of a neutral position, and then Siena taking that advantage. We have a 4-3 breakdown in Eichenwald after we do get a little bit of overtime action, Lafon.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what we kind of said, is that Siena did not have to win a fight. They just had to sort of break even, and eventually time was on their side, and we saw that. I mean, Sethri gets a flank into the spawn, essentially, of Fairfield. Draws enough aggression that the immortality field has to be used, right? And with the immortality field down, the self-destruct gets so much value. And even though the self-destruct doesn't get a lot of kills, it forces the tanks back and then into the Dragon Strike, and it's just layers and layers of damage from the offense there. And that's what economic advantage in terms of the ult bank brings you. It's also what the time bank gives you when you have such a large gap between after getting the full hold, right? So for Siena, they put themselves at match point here on Eichenwald, and a strong understanding of just what they had to work with there on their attack in overtime rounds.
Yeah, I mean, 2 minutes is not. I mean, 2 minutes on a single third is not shabby by any means. You took this to the regular game. That's a pretty solid first initial hold, especially given that even if that's just 1/3, they might have been able to come back and contest a regular time. Who knows? That is theory crafting at this point. 0-2 in map number 1. That was Busan. Now 4-3, dropping the side for Siena here. So for a 0-2 lead in the series so far. Looking at our Hanamura map on next. And yeah, anything else? I want to take a short break and drink a little bit of water, get prepared for this next map upon.
Yeah, that's we're getting set for the next map, so we'll see you then.
We are back in Hanamura for our map number 3. Siena, up 2-0 in the series. This might be where it all ends. We'd love to see some extra Overwatch innings here, as Lafon was saying. We do have a substitute as well, Lafon.
Dew coming in on the DPS role indeed. Here is the sub for Siena. So we'll see how that kind of plays out as they're running the... I mean, the teleporter here got a lot of value in previous Hanamura maps. So we'll see if they're if Siena is able to get, you know, continue the pattern, as it were.
Yeah, and this point A, choke point for Hanamura is so hard for anybody who does not have, you know, super vertical movement capabilities. Symmetra off the beginning, not a bad look by any means. And like you said, not a lot of value so far. Rotating right. This, what? Cowboy, Sim, Reinhardt, Zarya, Anna, Baptiste combination. Looking for a way in edgewise right now. Gil off the side, decent purple. And Mortality Field off the front. The sleep in does connect, but not for very long. Anna's now over on the Junkrat, or on the Junkrat, on the Roadhog right now. That's Captain Killog having an absolute killing field right here. 2 for him. Rick falling, the other Cowboy falling to this Reinhardt, and then the coordination on the Sigma. This is Siena all day long in the driver's seat.
Yeah, it's nice to see that we... Oh, wow. Nice play there by Captain Killog.
Ooh.
Back-to-back shots that get the 2-tap. And 6 minutes on the clock is a relatively responsible time to work with here. Coming into this next fight, I mean, you've got Nano Boost coming online from Nourishment, which is going to be able to make likely a tank be extremely aggressive, but you're also going to have the barrier from Dew. And if you can bisect the objective, then things can go well for you. Good block here. This is going to slow the snowball down just a bit as WLK picks up the double headshot onto the Cowboy.
Turning attention on a teleporter pad, and I think the side of Siena kind of realized that there, a snoozing nano-boosted Reinhardt is good for nobody. Now getting back into it, there's a huge chatter. They did not pay attention to this Reinhardt for about a second too long, my friend. Swing away, purple in air, got 200 left for Sethri. Now shield up through the thick of things. Fairfield is able to take a couple picks through here. No first tick of progress for you, Siena.
WK Fairfield rather see that they get the first pick in this fight, and Assault is so defensively favored that when the pick is that uncontested, despite the fact that Siena use ultimates in the back line to kind of force the fight, they never really get control of the objective. And so throwing good ultimates after a bad fight is kind of what happened there, and Siena taking a little bit of time off their own clock. Credit to Anivis, though, as they're able to get a couple of hooks and eliminations on the Roadhog.
Yeah, that's a full 6 glowing here for the side of Fairfield. Everything in their game plan unlocking right now, and that's a fantastic way to start it. Both DPS deleted very early, and that is, what, about 2 more ultimates than they needed here, Lafon?
You know what? If you're Siena, you're extremely happy with how that fight went. Not only did you get 4 ultimates out, you get a full third of the objective too, and the only thing it cost you was the barrier, the photon barrier. I mean, you're saying, yeah, that's a perfect fight for us. Now you're walking back in. Yeah, you're walking back in. You're gonna have the Graviton Surge. You obviously have the Deadeye already. You know, building up to both tank ultimates. I mean, for Siena, as long as they play this fight just a little bit slower than they did last time, this is really within their wheelhouse to kind of contest.
2 different big sources of damage and attention will have to be split between Brick and WLK here. WLK has just been feasting up top so far and been integral in the stopping of these pushes from Siena so far. Down bottom, the hook and more, but gets interrupted. Sethri has the shatter and does not land that across this projected barrier from our Sigma. And this Vortex WLK all finding phase right here. And that's going to be Rezzes and more for the side of Siena, still fighting away at this one, finding 2, and this team fight is still going on. WLK trying to find and damage in just as they can, but a forced retreat for Siena.
And this has really been a threat on this Roadhog here. A couple of excellent hooks, doesn't go down to the Deadeye, and is able to take the Cowboy, off the high ground to deny any space. So that was Siena's best opportunity at a fight win, and the Shatter goes into a shield, so they lose that. Now, eking back into the economy is the defense. Definitely have their work cut out for them here. Stole the Graviton Surge, still will be able to nano boost the Reinhardt into it, but it's certainly got a lot harder for them.
Purple and more. Top plat is where Siena's taking this so far, but lose an initial pick again. This has just been the hit scan members, but picking apart the side of Siena so far, but the res keeps them in the fight for right now. Shooting across that, looking for heads. Captain Kellogg cannot find one until Brick finds his. The Ana taken out is definitely not bad as Brick finds another right here. Valkyrie invested from Booker as Ace finds one as well. Sigma ultimate out, a lot of damage in, but this Booker Valkyrie is now done. Can't keep that one alive. Brick finds another headshot and Fairfield holds strong.
Yeah, Brick gets on the flank, finds 2 critical eliminations, primarily onto Captain Kellogg, but also then to close out the fight as well. And it feels like this has become a little bit piecemeal from the tank line of Siena, right? They're not getting the combos onto these big ultimates that they need to commit to, right? The Earth Shatter and the Graviton Surge. Neither of them have really ended in more than a single elimination. And Dew's going to make a switch over to the Tracer now just to get in the back line to cause some harassment. Try to get on on the Widowmaker here and force them out of position. Certainly a task easier said than done.
Yes, it is, especially with the sideline. Like, Brick missed that by a couple of pixels. WLK has his number on the other side as well. Dew forced to find another way into this one. Captain Kellogg getting a first initial shot on WLK and forcing him back. That's big here for the side of Siena. Shatter now down. Everybody taking in that one. Here comes a nano-boosted charging Reinhardt. That's a full team kill, and that's Siena taking this in about 10 seconds, Levon.
That was the fight that they needed to have, and, they do get it. It's the ult that you kind of need to execute on Assault, right? That's how you take the second point a lot of the time, and this time it works out for them. The one thing to say, though, is they entered point B with 6 minutes on the clock. They exit the completion of the objective with less than a minute. So, certainly, what could have been a very quick time bank turns and ekes away to nearly nothing. And for Fairfield, they have a real shot at equalizing this map now.
Exactly. Correct me if I'm wrong. We were looking at 6 minutes flat coming in from point A for the side of Siena.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a full 5 minutes plus deleted from Fairfield. We'll chalk that up to a W in any way, shape, form, or translation. Sombra, for one of the first times here in since our initial matchup between Niagara and Quinnipiac, right?
It's it's been a long road here, Tugboat, for sure. So,
fair enough. Not against the pick whatsoever. So far, the offensive abandonment of this match, or at least that's what they're showing.
Playing around this alt composition makes sense. The Symmetra is not a bad pick by any stretch, but yeah, it definitely requires a little bit more. There's not as much alt game as there is with the Sombra, right? So
different looks on different offensive characters here for the side of both squads. Everybody trying to get to various places, and sometimes that's just not so possible. That's where we'll leave that one. 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Members of Fairfield rotating left side so far. No teleporter needed because now pressure is on in the back. And just like that, Siena actually leaves this team to just move on the left, but maybe that's easier said or sooner said than done. But a Fallen Vortex taken out, DEW, excuse me, coming out with the water gun and cleaning up so far. No Reaper, not here and not today.
I was going to comment that walking through the choke, they actually don't take that much spam to Fairfield. But as soon as Siena walks out and tries to get to the objective, that's when the core hit scan unlocks. And Captain Kellogg gets a clean elimination onto the support partner of Guild 240 into Quef. But as the fight starts, so too does it end, and the support is sent back to the spawn for a delayed reset. So that's a minute off the clock here. Excellently done by Siena.
Yeah, both teams so far are doing good jobs in deleting time where it's needed, but Fairfield right now needs this first point like they need their next breath and to continue on their opportunities here. And a nano boost on board, but at first we're going to see the Valkyrie up top, Booker providing in that. Purple on the other side gets perfectly blocked out by this, and it's Zarya bubble and personal and more. There's the Sigma, mostly just equipment deleted in the bottom, and is trying to get out in the way. A big charged up laser and a personal bubble keeps them alive for the time being. Gil now joining them. A lot of mid-range damage right here, and Gil is the last player alive right here to significantly push in this one. Rick, where's Rick?
A high ground here across the choke point. Half HP. Needs to be careful. The Bob?
Okay. They have plenty of time left of this. Maybe they're thinking utilize it now, and they can at least have 6 presences on point. Not 100% sure. Down Bear out, mostly going to defend away against this aimbot for the time being. Trying to find a speeding away Lucio, always an annoying one. Now rotating and coming a little bit of a flank. The projected barrier stays for the same time no matter what, and a flashbang is rendered useless. Over the side, sets himself up perfectly for a boop, and Gil finds that easily. This is progression now. Go ahead.
This fight has kind of devolved at this point, right? Because you see players getting eliminated, 2 ticks taken with Booker going down. They're not quite done yet. They're still committed to this fight.
Zethri comes back flying at this one. That's 1 pick on the Quef, a main source of healing. Almost booped all the way off. Zethri comes back a little bit. Nice stun. Now a little Zarya versus Sigma action, but that's not going to be enough. That might actually be a decent little staggered action, but of course our new rules utilized their Siena's defensive team back up.
Yeah, they're going to walk back in because they want to get this Grab Dragon combo before the reset comes in, but Vortex goes down before this all goes away. And that's going to be a reset right immediately for Fairfield. They thought they had the window for attack, and Siena take it away swiftly.
Yeah, if you've seen Zarya deleted away from this game faster than that recently, I don't want to know about it, LaFont.
Now, I mean, here's that the snowball potential is still here, and with 3.5 minutes, this fight for Siena is probably the most critical they kind of have to avoid. If they can dodge this Graviton Surge, if they can prevent it from getting a ton of value, then they are still looking to have an equal time bank. However, this pickoff starts things off very poorly for Siena.
Yeah, Captain Kellogg just bit off a little bit more than it can chew. No Gildo means no Sound Barrier, and about 10%. There's the Dragons down the middle, utilized onto the grab, and it looks like Fairfield has gotten a solid little hold on this. Last player here, that's Vortex. Assistance from the side here is jumping back into this one is Zethri, and it's here as well. Contest comes in, that's not going to be enough. Now the Snowball just trying to attempts here at contest. The Reaper up here just getting Annis the business so far, forced to come back. It's Fairfield. They give them the space, and just like that, Siena hold on. If they'd have held on aggressive, I can imagine this would have gone differently with fun.
There is, there's definitely a world where this could have gone the opposite way. However, what ends up happening is the Graviton Surge is Anith walks aggressively to get the Graviton Surge in the back line. While that's happening, Zethri plays up super in the front line, and it's a 3-for-3 trade, and those are always going to favor the defense. The respawns are just too quick. So only 1/3 of the objective taken, and Siena now are back in a situation where they have ult advantage. Mana Boost, Primal Rage, they're going to have the Tactical Visor as well.
Oh, Kellogg almost falling first there yet again. He tried to get a little bit of damage in sneakily earlier and felt the fire for that one. Now actually falls off the side and is out of this team fight for about 5 seconds. Not going to be a big deal though, as DPS falling. That's going to be both of them done for Fairfield. They have, what, 2 more team fights of this?
Yeah, they're in a similar situation. They need to get taken out here. They need to go down quick. You're not killing. Oh, if Vortex goes away, this is going to be disastrous because you're only going to get 1 real fight remaining. This is essentially last fight. They have the tools to close it out, and they don't need to worry about time bank. As long as they capture the map, they will get a chance to re-attack. Another good pick-off to start it off. This is going to be resurrected, though.
Oh, Brick lighting that one up for a second one. You can bring him back, but I'll just put him right back down in the ground. Not going to happen so easily, though. Valkyrie, aimbot online for Siena. A little bit closer to a lot more is Dragons with Shatter, Lucio Sound Barrier, Zarya Grav is a hair's breadth away. Siena College looking in a bad position right now, but just like that, they're going to be having the most amount of time on the first hold here on Hanamura no matter what. Kellogg on the rotation, now back to this. Sound Barrier out as Gil anticipated the aimbot, now coming way outside as this grab lands in the middle. There's the Dragons, there's the aimbot though, all the way rotated, and everybody focuses on that when he screams that you're in his sights.
24-second difference in that attack run. This time, the economy advantage was just too strong, right? You walk up, there's so many ultimates available to you. Not much that Siena could do, and Fairfield will equalize in points on Hanamura. They still have to go back to the attack to try and take the lead in this series. They will get 1.5 fights, essentially, given to them here on point A. If they want anything more than that, they'll have to capture the objective. A lot riding on this first fight for Fairfield. Again, Siena at match point.
Yeah, they've been back to the wall situation for quite a while now, and that is going to continue right here and right now. Looking at our defense, shorter offensive course for Fairfield as of right now. Kellogg over on the Soldier 76. I'm not against this at all. He just has to worry about like just where he's choosing to hold from, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this composition, as we set up the defense, this is such... It's kind of prone to being run over in certain instances, right? With the fact that you don't have that defensive second layer. Often, like, the D.Va has the Matrix, right? Or, which you can kind of toggle on and off. The Zarya has the bubble to prevent that first attack run. The Sigma is a little bit more steady, but once you kind of broach the front line, then it becomes a little bit more vulnerable. So we'll see if Fairfield's able to take advantage of the pick that Set3 has made here.
Put your lob damage in, spamming it down the middle between the Sigma and the Do Junkrat. That shield is not going to last for very long for any of this. There's the immortality field to kind of keep this alive. Ace gets super aggressive right here and pays the price for it. Rick rolling on through. There's a headshot and more. Rez comes up for Do, and there's another one. Captain Kellogg over the top, and there's a third. He's just on an absolute roll right now. Rick looking like a very hard player to kill indeed.
Yeah, Rick was a instrumental part of that engagement. I mean, 85% on this Dragon Strike here. Essentially the difference between the reason this point is being taken and not. And now Fairfield, they're going to have 30 seconds to take the second objective. A lot riding on how well they can walk up and kind of just put pressure in onto the defense. High ground contest likely going to be completely eradicated with this Dragon Strike, as Rick will use it to sort of clear the high ground here.
Rotations in there. There's the Dragons to begin with, trying to find this one out. A lot of damage against this Mercy early. Rick falls. The huge sorts of damage from the side of Fairfield. The Star Stunner so far. WLK deleted as well. Both Shimano brothers taken out of Hanamura. And I think this is the slow end of a quick beginning. That was a fantastic offensive hold. They did everything that they needed to pretty much the very end right there, or the very beginning. Like, got everything they needed to within the minute time, but not gonna, unfortunately, going to be able to get anything onto point number 2. Siena now having to take a full tick of progress just to tie. Or a full
capture percentage, yeah, full objective to tie, yes. So a minute 24. If they capture point A, they'll be afforded another 30 seconds. So an absolute maximum of 154 remaining in this barring the overtime contest. And, you know, I mean, that's such a tough place. That composition, I said, is so... If you break that initial line of defense, it becomes fairly vulnerable to the especially to the Hanzo, as we saw from Rick. But now we'll see if Siena can afford themselves a more efficient re-attack here, as a minute 24 is all they get to work with. And then they have to work on the first tick of the point of the second objective. So not only, Tugboat, do they have to take point A, they have to take it and have enough resources left in the bank, right? They have to have enough ultimates left available to them that they can swarm objective B to take that first third of progress.
Yeah, because minute 24, especially they've been playing, looks decent for Siena, but as long as Fairfield holds on and deletes a lot of this time off, they will not have a significant second strike at point B if they take point A. So, might be looking at a tie situation. If we do, we'll be looking at Junkrat and Oasis after that. Again, we have to get there first, though. The teleporting turret look here taken for Fairfield, or excuse me, for Siena. Rotations left side, WLK lobbing shots over in the left, just kind of attacked, attention, and more. Captain Kellogg almost gets all the way up top there. He decides that's not the place to go. Burns shots into the shield and more. Fire strikes attempted in, but the immortality field going to keep this team all right for a few seconds now. Full rotation. This is not the amount of time Siena wanted to take this in. Now forced to come all the way around with even without a pick. Shots down in the middle, and everybody just gets out and away. No point in facing that turret right now.
Yeah, this has become a little bit of a stalemate now. Unfortunately for the offense, they're on the clock. The defense is not. And this has gone a fairly struggle. It's a big struggle right now for Siena as they're running out of time. They're running out of players. They only have 30 seconds remaining. They've got nothing going for them.
Yeah, so 25 seconds might have enough time at this. Might even need to utilize that Lucio for the speed. Nope, that's going to be cleanup at the end. There's no way they're going to get a full hand at this one.
The bubble comes out to make sure that Anthus is still staying alive. The pin, 10 seconds left. And this has just gone from bad to absolute worst. As it's now a question of if they even get the objective contest here.
This at least started there. Sefri starts what he can. Tire out to left side. Touched on it, not gonna matter. Touched again to reset, but the simple, the difference of numbers cascades over Siena. We have our first non-sweep on the stream here for the EGF official Overwatch stream. I love to see it. 3 for the side of Fairfield, only 2 for the side of Siena.
This is now going to be a real, I mean, we're in uncharted territory as we get to see map 4 for the first time tonight. I mean, this is really the difference maker of this series. The fact that you get, what is this, 3 uncontested pickoffs by yourself.
Yep.
Rick coming in the clutch for Fairfield as they take their first map here, 2-1. The scoreline as, I mean, now that was a tough place to be, right? The composition just doesn't work, and Siena waste a lot of time on their second offense run. Fairfield doing a fantastic job of isolating targets and making sure none of their tanks go down.
Yeah, just showed up exactly when the time was most right. Junkertown now, moving on along here, running through our map scores here. And the first, it was Busan 0-2. That was Siena taking that one. 4-3 and a little bit of overtime action on Ike and Walt. Siena ended up with that one at the end as well. But Fairfield coming in the overtime rounds in our 2CP map to take this one 3-2 and push this to another more full series. Again, no full sweep here. We are going to go to a very short break. We'll be back with you guys with Junkertown in just a little bit. And we are back. We are here onto Junkertown with our favorite koala mascot for dumplings and other takeaway food. We are looking at Fairfield College on the defense here first, and Siena on the attack first.
Overwatch is actually where I learned that the word takeout was called takeaway in Australia. So, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of...
I didn't know that until they added this map, and people were like, "Wait, they don't say takeout in Australia." I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
I guess I never really thought about it. Yeah, it's true. It's true. We are getting information from our producer, and you originally said the opposite of what the Australians would say. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, it used to be called takeout when the map was released, and they had to change it. Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
I remember that being. That being said, this Widow, the Widow scope not being scoped in fully. Sniper versus Sniper, Brickrick back on the Widowmaker. Showed a lot of prowess on the Hanzo, and picks up right where they left off with the Widowmaker here.
Yeah, at a certain point, it may just be a duel that you do not wish to take. No longer ego chow that one all the way out. DJ Paul back on in this one. Do is no more from the side of Siena. Lot of ultimate advantage taken here. About 75 to it, far and away the closest outside of Quep, the main support for the side of Fairfield on this map so far. WOK trying to find him shots in edgewise, does find it, does take a solid bit of damage on the outside. Now healed and back with it. Both tanks for the side of Siena doing battle here, but they will lose this out in the end.
Captain Killog gets found out by WOK, forced to retreat, and actually giving up on the Widow v Widow is Siena, as they're gonna go for the Junkrat yet again.
I like the Siena, not against it. Captain Kellogg looking for a way to rotate in there and get in damage from a place that is not otherwise expected. There's a protected barrier to completely negate out the Brick Widowmaker for a couple seconds to force the reposition. Captain Kellogg finding big headshots against soft tanks and more. Sethri out here. And there's a projected again. There's Impresites out looking for heads. That's gonna be Booker just feeling the fire off of that one. Not a full charge up from CJ Paul. That, and now the Gravitic Flux invested as well. WOK falls, and that is Rick finds nasty headshots and more, but I do believe Siena will be able to take this one all the way into point number 1.
Yeah, Rick is getting spammed out here. You can see the counter strafe happening there from the supports, just making sure they don't get taken out by the Widowmaker. And the point is being contested loosely here by Quef, and as they're taken down, we'll signal the opening salvo of point A being given over as B gets set underway. Here now, I mean, the defense has so much to work with, right? But they have to kind of get set up. They will have, if they can group quickly, the high ground advantage, pardon me, as Brick goes over to the Soldier now. But, I mean, all eyes really on Ace here. If the Supercharger can get value, then, the sheer damage throughput that Captain Killog will be able to bring out here with the Cowboy is certainly immense.
Yeah, not a whole lot of warm-up required on that high noon. Here's the tire out first, taking it up the walls and more. Full flank. There's the grab, but that is mostly just used what it seems like a bit of a stalling factory here for Fairfield as all shall fall. One main tank deleted. No mercy on the side of Siena, so no res there. But this should be more than enough than they need to get this one rotated around our takeaway mascot and farther into point number 2.
Nourishment is doing their absolute best to keep their team alive there. We saw CJ Paul go down so very low, but the consecutive shots by Nourishment to keep the front line alive was spectacular. And now, I mean, this is nearly a capture for the offense here on the second phase.
WOK taken out by Captain Kellogg. Just honestly, it kind of seemed like more like in passing, like he almost knew that he was there. Siena is absolutely rolling. Any problems they had with progress is a fear for Hanamura.
Excellent accretion there to make sure the stun comes in. They're going to use the Gravitic Flux. They don't want this fight to end.
No, they do not. There's the Immortality field at the bottom to negate out any effect that Gravitic Flux would have come, and at a certain point you had to have expected that one coming through. Still invested nonetheless, and pressure has been applied. Fairfield still kind of playing off the back foot right here. Captain Kellogg looking for a place to change the time to 12 o'clock. As high noon is There's not one but two shields that can block away this damage for Fairfield so far. Gil getting super low. Here comes the aimbot from the top, and rocks, shots, lasers, Junkrat shots, and everything coming through this window, trying to make sure that he is not finding any value from it, and he doesn't really find too much. WLK, they're taking out Counterpart. Over in the top rotating area, now focusing attention on these tanks. High noons from one and both. Captain Kellogg comes out, cannot find more than just one kill on that one, but does take out Quef at the end. Siena College still here for right. No, sorry, this is only, yeah, that was only Captain Kellogg.
I think Nourishment is actually caught in the back line here. Just sort of, yep, there they are. Hiding in a corner. And they're found out. Oh no! Wait, they're alive still.
Almost took a second shot against Rick,
Like
which would have been enough.
Movie.
Yeah, right? Just moving through like the industrial area, and now back with the rest of the team.
So that was the great escape made manifest as Nourishment now has the nano boost.
Oh, just like that, after the attention was turned onto this Anna, excuse me, is left in the lurch with no one to talk to. Captain Kellogg felled by Quef. Shots in from the side, not enough healing on that. Gravitic Flux out, now down, takes out his counterpart and the huge healing core. Siena still rolling on in, 0.01 away. They're not willing to give this one up quite yet. Anna's still there, and this is, every second of this is the advantage to Fairfield right now. They're literally 0.01 away. No Riptire for you, my friend.
A bold last-ditch effort from WLK does not pan out. And I mean, we're going to go back and kind of look at the end of this map and say that Ana escaping could very well be the difference maker for what this series is going to end up, right? The fact that Nourishment is not only caught out, but is half HP as Brick Rick walks up to them and they still escape is truly nothing short of astonishing. And on top of that, they actually use the Immortality Field to help Nourishment escape. So that's so much utility just gone and still get out the fight. That third point is definitely going to come back to haunt Fairfield in future. That being said, they can't let it get to them. They have to head to the offense now. And it looks like the pirate ship composition is one that they are going to try and make work here.
It looks like, well, it looks like at least what Siena is showing right now, this is not a bad counter to it. Between the Junkrat, pulls from Ace on the Orisa here, the hacks from Captain Kellogg on the Sombra. This is most of the tools they need to dismantle this pirate ship.
This first fight is going to be so critical, because if you get knocked off the objective, right, the pirate ship is not given them a chance to set up, then it becomes very, very one-dimensional, shall we say.
Fair.
So the Sombra's going to scout. Captain Kellogg sees what everyone's running. Sends up the chance. Oh, hello, WLK.
Oh, instant hack. Almost gets to it. Not going to happen. Forced to come out. It doesn't have the transponder before that, and that's going to be a very lucky Captain Kellogg for getting out on that. Super low away, looking for a couple of shots, a couple of healing shots from teammates and more. As CJ Paul does fall, right when they kind of needed this Junkrat spam damage in as well. WLK shifting attention to the right side. Not going to let Captain Kellogg get out so easily. Now spam damage, try and catch that as Captain Kellogg teleports back to the rest of their squad. Back to a full 6 here in just a few seconds.
Yeah, the card has moved up super aggressively, though. It's already past the second halfway point, I should say.
Wow, okay, offense just stunning out right now. A little bit of stall action there at the end, and the Brick Rick pirate ship has taken it for point 1 at least, with 5 minutes and some change. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I mean, this defense has become piecemeal for Siena, as Fairfield has kind of set up this has kind of become a place where like members just call it out for Siena, right? We see CJ Paul and Nourishment on the flank as Captain Kellogg is trying to chase out WLK. Oh, this is
a little bit rough, yeah. So if Fairfield just instead centralizes their location instead of like paying attention to the back and take out the 2 players there, instead they let Captain Kellogg just pick apart their sniper right there, and now they're fighting this 5-6. Captain Kellogg taking a lot more in the front, and just like that, CJ Paul stops this half-attempted pirate flag on point 2 in its tracks. Full glow though, and it's the only one about 10% away from it.
A couple of questions come to mind there. There were two players on the flank. Just focus the objective, right? You have the advantage in terms of the numbers. You don't need to give away fights. And now Fairfield are in the unenviable position of having to put a bunker composition that's no longer in its place it wants to hold. So this has just gone from bad to worse.
Rapidic Flux does find one. Vortex finding a little bit against Captain Kellogg first. Ace dropping as well. The res is going to be utilized. There you go. Does get away from it as well. Rick, you burning 3, now 4 shots, now 5 shots with nothing and a deflect at the end. Captain Kellogg giving the business up close to completely flip this team fight on its head until Annette and Vortex find some of their own. Another fantastic. That's the yeah, this is just a master clinic on playing a little bit Genji right now. Now some hack and slash in the back. There's one looking for more. Got the pocket for a couple of seconds, but Vortex ends those dreams in his path.
Yeah, Sethri has still provided so much damage as well. And you can see Rick needs to be very careful about how they re-engage. 180 damage. They're going to get the elimination, but this has devolved completely. And this is going from bad to very, very bad for the offensive squad.
Dropping down with that tire might have found a kill, as it was. The Immortality Field does what Immortality Fields do. Purple to more up top. CJ Paul does not go back to rotate with this team in time. Fairfield College looking at some pretty solid time right now, LaFon.
Yeah, they're going to get the second objective here, as this has been a piecemeal defense from Siena. And it's going to be about just under 5 minutes here on the third phase. So 4 minutes 10. Yeah, that's a lot of time. You are going to have, I mean, here's the thing. The ultimates are about even at this point. But in terms of how scattered the defense has kind of become, they haven't really taken a 6v6 fight in about the entirety of this defense, actually.
Yeah, and CJ Paul has just gotten deleted from these fights. He's may have spent 30% of the time in these actually, instead of just like turning tail and running. And WLK just have his number right now. This is just impressive performances. Rick falling though, that's the evening factor that might kind of decide this one for Siena as we come in. A little bit far away from High Noon, almost there. Immortality Field invested in the middle. Webb puts that one perfectly. Now High Noon finding one, but WLK finds the shots as he slows down right there. Invests everything into Captain Kellogg. Rez coming in, and now Siena at a clear, very clear advantage. Gil deleted as well. Rick coming in, only finds a little bit of a Sigma and just like a little bit edgewise stun and more shoved against the wall. Absolutely bullied there from the side of Booker and Sethri. Siena College stabilizing for right now.
I really like this change that Booker makes over to the Brigitte. I think that having that shield bash is so important to kind of deny Rick the opportunity to get in. You can see that forces the change. Gonna go over to the Ashe, and I mean, you've now equalized time bank, right? This is now the defense going to, the first good fight that they get is the one where they're able to actually commit the ultimates they need, and now they're going to force Fairfield to have, 2 minutes or less if they even capture.
Shots on the top, the team just kind of feeling each other out and burning shields for right now. Several different accretions landing there for Sethri. Now forced to the left side, tries to pick up health pack and more. Not sure if he actually got to it as Rick falls in the middle of it. The Junkrat getting their opinion in there. Now that's Booker and Ace both done. Up to the top, just a shooting range right here, but it gets blocked out by a projected actually. Well done right there as the res comes in, and CJ Paul does what CJ Paul does. Just outside of that, with the assistance from the Captain Kellogg McCree up top, that's just the definition of a pair of DPS coming in, completely changing the course of a team fight.
Yeah, Nourishment coming in, block out to make sure that everyone stays down. Battle Mercy in play, and this has become a real hold in play from Siena. They're forcing the low ground rotation, but against the Junkrat, this is not ideal.
The trap isn't going to last for very long, but that's not going to be really effectual when CJ Paul can just turn and spam more of this damage through here. Implication Matrix or not, here comes the tire as well. Takes no shots in the end, but doesn't matter as both Annette's Immortality Field falls and the tire is deleted. rally out from Booker, getting it in for his team, and armor added to his teammates for right now. Gil on the switch on the Zenyatta. I didn't even notice that one until he did fall on this. Captain Kellogg continuing on the impressive McCree movements.
Less than a minute remaining here now in the time bank. Tugboat as the flank from CJ Paul. No one scouts it out, and it's gone from bad to worse. 3 out as the fight is ended. And with 40 seconds remaining, I mean, there is a ton of resources available. Make no mistake about it. However, they have to get through the entirety of this third phase uncontested. They have to force this fight, and they're out of time. They have one fight to close out this third point.
They literally have to push this right now. A Transcendence in the bag would be beautiful. This is Set3 just getting absolutely bullied right now by this Tracer up top, and the split attention might be exactly what Fairfield needs for right now. As I say that, WLK punished for his actions and his aggression right here. Scorpionic Flux out. Set3 barely laying down bottom. This is the last opportunity for Fairfield. In this one, they're back to it. WLK will be joining the rest of his squad here. Gil falling as well, so the soft support done. Anderson, the Roadhog done, deleted as well. Vortex coming out to it, and that is going to be it. Fairfield has fallen. Siena bashing against the gates and does find it in Junkertown on the 4th map after a very close Hanamura.
Defense was not to be found on the first and the second stage for Siena, but they turned it all up for third. And that's what's going to take the series in their favor as they close out the heroics from the tank and DPS line, but specifically, I think we can say the Junkrat and Sigma in particular. As you can see, just look at that flank. So much damage. And yeah, that was just a spectacular run from Siena as they take that 3-1 series victory after a very narrowly contested Hanamura.
Yes, it was. I'll say, whatever CJ Paul did on the Junkrat in this last map almost perfectly mirrored, just obviously in different ways, what Brick was doing on the Hanzo, on the Hanamura. Talking about triple kills and just finding like lint in your pocket, just easy, left, right, and center, and over again to net his team all the value in the world, everything they needed to push forth, and Fairfield at least pushing it into overtime. That is it, though. 3-1 here for the side of Siena over Fairfield. We'll be getting a little bit of interview action coming at you guys. We'll have only winners in the interview box, so that'll be a member from Siena, and we'll be back with that in just a minute. And we are back. Little interview action post-match between this Fairfield Siena 3-1 for Siena over Fairfield. We have Sethri here for a little post-match interview. Now, Sethri, are you with us?
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
I can. The
Cool.
phone's going to start you off with a couple questions, and I'll round you out and get you on out of here, okay?
All right.
I mean, first of all, congratulations on the victory, 3-1. I mean, pretty confident match at the very end of the tail end of Junkertown. It wasn't always that way. Walk me through it. You played a couple of different roles, right? I believe you played the Winston on the first couple maps, switching over to the Sigma. The Sigma looked especially potent, especially towards, as I said, that end of Junkertown. Sort of, how did you guys kind of rebound from Hanamura, though? Because that was the one blip, if you will, sort of in your game. Unable to kind of close that out. Just walk me through sort of your thought process in the series.
So we after the first 2 wins, we had one of our players on the bench. He was really good at a certain character, so we put him in, and we were doing fairly well. I feel so. Like when we were on the offense, we had a minute 20, and we were talking about risking a Bastion strat because we were watching the Arlington, and I think that's what they did. They went up top on the roof and they did a Sim Bastion. So we're just like, we'll try something like that. And it was a risk because we only had a minute. So fortunately that risk did not pay off. But after that happened, after we lost that map, we were just like, all right, well, we're just going to go back to what we're doing the first 2 matches. And yeah, we just kind of did what we had to do.
Yeah, makes sense, right? Return to the tried and true. It doesn't hurt to take some risks, but sometimes they don't pay out. Now, I mentioned your Sigma. I thought it looked really, really strong in especially Junkertown. As I said, you kind of flexed a little bit. I believe you played the Winston earlier in the series.
Yeah.
For you specifically, that flexibility, moving between main tank and off tank, is that something you guys have to kind of work around, or is it sort of something you take pride in being able to play that Sigma to such a high level?
Oh, no, it's definitely something I take pride in. I love playing Sigma. It's one of my favorite characters, but I think my best character would be Monkey. I love Winston. He's a great character. Especially on Hanamura on that second point. I love jumping around. It's just a great open map to just get them. I don't know if you saw, but there's one point where I was just kind of on the side when they were going up top staircase, and I was just waiting for them to push up. Once I did that, I had Primal, Nano, and then, yeah, it's just great to pummel people, so.
There you go. What, a 900-pound gorilla will sit anywhere he wants? Isn't that how the joke goes?
It's definitely a lot of damage when they're all together, so.
Exactly. You throw a nano boost on there, and that's going to make for a bad time. I'm going to go only with one question. I'm going to break the rules of the interview. I'm going to make you take a stance here. We saw Brick absolutely popping off in the Hanamura on the Hanzo, and then we saw that followed up by CJ Paul, your Junkrat player, fighting triples left, right, and center. Who is the simple better DPS player in this match here today, and then overall the better player overall, and possibly even the better person? I'm making you like completely commit to one side or the other right here.
Okay, I mean, if I have to commit, it's gotta be CJ Paul, man. I mean, his Junkrat's unbeatable. I mean, I don't know if you saw him Junkertown, he got played the game. He was just doing his thing, backline, no one's paying attention to him, killing everybody. Brick, I give him respect though. His Hanzo, what was it? He got that triple headshot play of the game. Like, that was pretty insane, to be honest. So, it was close, but I gotta side with my teammate here. He's really good at Junkrat. So.
There you go. Respect given, but no quarter given at the very end. Still going to be shouting out the team. I'd love to hear Seth.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on and giving us a minute of your time after the game. Any shout-outs you got for You're the Squad before we get you on out of here?
Yeah. I mean, there was some guy in chat wanted to shout out. I forgot his name, so sorry. But you know who you are. You know how you are. Some guy in chat. I guess I'll shout you out. And yeah, I definitely cannot wait for the future matches. So yep. Thank you guys.
There you go. You heard it here first. Sethri, appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and get you on out of here now. This has been Fairfield College taking one map off of Siena, but ultimately dropping in 3-1 fashion in this series to break that tradition of 3-0 so far that LaFon and I had covered up to this point. Now, that's going to be it for me. I was only on for the first 3 games. Got a lot more Overwatch action coming at you. Do not tune away. We'll be back with you in just a little bit. Just have different faces, unfortunately, for you guys. Before we do leave, I want to give a shout out to Aeon. We do appreciate them because without our producers, of course, we are just beautiful faces attached to golden voices screaming out into the void with no one to send our voices to on production and broadcast-wise. So we do appreciate that. I'll catch you guys next week. LaFon, appreciate you casting with. We'll catch you guys very, very soon.
All right.